Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Monday edition of Speak On It with the little diva and your boy, me, the Louisiana country boy. But there's a little diva. Hey, little diva.
Hey there, hey. I'm
Welcome.
trying to find us on Facebook. Did
You
you?
always be trying to, but look, this thing be hid out somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh. Hey.
What you say? What was you saying when you trying to find who?
Were you trying to find us? We always
I'm
be.
trying to find us so I can share. Everybody keeps saying they can't
Wait.
see me.
So did you when I sent you the thing? Did the thing pop where you could add or no?
I'm
Okay,
just sending me a link.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out one day. Might not be today, obviously not today, but one day
Ah,
I'm
whatever.
gonna figure it out. Uh, so look at here, y'all. Happy Monday, little diva.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
It is another beautiful day. It is another
A
episode
beautiful day in
of
the neighborhood.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? That's probably that. I done dated myself. Oh Lord, if y'all
Would
don't
you be
know, that
mine? Would
there,
you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
that there is Mr. Rogers. If y'all don't know, man, Mr. Rogers. That's Mr.
You know
Rogers.
they did a movie about him,
Did they
and
really?
Tom Hanks was Mr. Rogers. Because I used to love Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But
Hey,
that movie didn't do. I
well,
know you know what, I'm gonna go back and watch it later without expectation. But I have these expectations. Sometimes you have an expectation about something, a
mhm,
movie, a book. It ain't meeting those expectations, so I quickly shut it down.
yes.
But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch.
Well, speaking of that, two things. Let me
Okay.
let me say this first. Y'all, you may talk about Mr. I came up on Captain Kangaroo, and that's what
Me and my uncle used to watch us some Captain Kangaroo.
I came up on Captain Kangaroo. Now that's whoa. Now that there's dating, but and moving forward, I'm gonna say this is when you just said that about books and movies. The first book that I ever read that I can remember, I might have read something before that, was A Rising Sun. Is that it?
Hmm.
And then I saw the movie, and I was like, maybe I should have watched the movie and then read the book, because
Some
this
people say
right,
that. But
because
it's
this,
usually for me, yeah, watching the movie. Well, usually I think it goes back and forth because what movie did I watch and I said I should have watched I should have I'm glad I read the story before I saw the movie. It was
on the
one of
movie.
because the movie, oh, you know what it was? Oh my goodness, Aretha Franklin.
Okay,
Because the book told so much more about her. So
right.
I was able to understand because the movie was just all over the place, in my opinion. But I was able to understand it because I had read the book. Now,
Gotcha.
the movie
Gotcha.
with Jennifer Hudson, it was much better. It told more than that little funky. Let me not say that. The little story they told. There was two movies. One of
Okay,
them wasn't good. The one they did on TV, it was good, but it didn't tell things like it
gotcha.
should have. The one with Jennifer Hudson, it told more of the story of the
Of
actual
the
story.
story. Yeah, and
Mhm.
that was my first one because I was like, that ain't nothing like I read, and that's how I left feeling like. But maybe just like you, maybe I should go and watch the movie again, and maybe like, okay, all right, because yeah, the two just didn't add up. It didn't add up at all. Well, look, wait a minute, I need to click a
I'm
button.
trying to find out why I can't see the comments like I usually do.
I don't know. Is it? Wait a minute. Let's see here. Uh, I just put a comment up there. I
Okay,
just,
I see. Okay, I see it. I see
I
it.
just, I just put an advertisement up there. Hi.
Chat platform.
Is it
Okay.
on? You got it? Is it popping on
Oh no,
yours?
I saw you post something. We'll see if somebody pop something, say hi or something, so we can see if the
Yeah.
comments are working. Y'all
Say
pop.
hi. Wave and say
Say
hi.
hello. How you doing?
How you doing? How y'all doing now? How your mama now? How your uncle now?
Wait. My uncle was on the elevator one time, and this little girl looked up at him and said, "What your name is? What your mama name is?" And so forever we walked around saying that to each other. What your name is? What your
Oh
mama
my
name is? Let me just show
god.
y'all something anyway. Country boy asked me. I guess it's not showing the whole shirt. Addicted to a lot. Addicted to live music experiences. Y'all know I love live music. Most people that know me do. So if you like live music, come on and get you a little shirt. The little Diva have started a little t-shirt line. It ain't working. I haven't sold one shirt, but it's okay.
Hey, look, you got to start with one.
Mine, but it's okay. I'm gonna let y'all. We got some things going on. We gonna get some shirts sold eventually.
That's right. Y'all go on get you one of them addicted shirts. Get you one of them.
It should even say addicted to dancing, addicted to Zydeco.
There you go. Hey, y'all go on get you one of them shirts. She got shirts over there. Look, I told you, y'all better get on that train, the Diva train.
Yep. When I'm gone, I'm gonna be gone.
There it is.
I ain't looking back for those that didn't jump on the train in time. See, country boy, you jumped on here.
Hey, look. I saw them when they were. Look, I wasn't like them folks, that saw Noah building the ark and they kept on going. Look, wait a minute. I was like, hold on. Why you got them hammers? Why you got the hammer and them nails? Where you going? I'm going. Wait a minute. Hold up. You're building something. I'm finna go find out what's being built.
And it's a purpose. It's got to be a reason you building this big old thing. Something is going on, and I'm gonna be close to you.
Right.
If you know what's going on, what's gonna happen.
You know something. That's it. Look, I'm so glad that you gave us a foundational topic. There's a foundation. We have a foundational topic.
We have a foundation.
We got a foundation.
And the foundation came from the 2 weeks of things that have had. I think it's been about 2 weeks of things that we've been going through.
Yes.
And I thought it would be cool for us to speak on it because, some people don't say something. Everybody can say what they want to say when they're ready to speak on something. Right. I tend to be very open, very, I say it, but it also helps those who are, going through it or, telling the story. It may help someone else, but it also helps you to get off your chest.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And then you don't watch the news. So it's going to be some other people that don't watch the news. So hear from us, they'll know stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I don't watch the news. I don't. And that's, and that for me is good, is what you're saying, is being able to have communication and talk to people and know things, for me and the whole speak on it. I like that last part. And, when you and I talked about that last part.
When wrong, why is wrong becoming so right to everybody?
And that's been it. It's unfortunate, where we are today is we have, I say we, let me just, because, I don't like pointing at nobody else. I like to try to, it's so much has been condoned.
Continues to be.
And it gets so the moral fiber of our country. I'm going to start with the moral fiber of our country, the moral fiber of our nation, the moral fiber of our communities, the moral fiber of our homes, and our personal moral fibers have been ripped to shreds. I came up in a time and an era when people were not ashamed to say, boy, that ain't right. And it wasn't because they were trying to demean or they were trying to shame, but they were doing it in a way of correcting to say, you can't make it acting like that. You can't make it doing them type. That's not right.
Right.
And they did it out of love and respect. Today we condone and we call that love and respect. Today we allow people to say whatever, because that thing came out. And I think that that's probably what it was. Do what makes you feel good.
I don't think that have anything to do with it because
Well,
that's not the meaning of that. I mean,
no, I don't think that that's the meaning of it. But
I know, but I'm just saying when it came out,
right,
it was never. That ain't why they acting crazy.
right.
We're not going to get a no excuse. What I think there are a lot of bandwagon rider people that want to be a part of something.
Right, right.
People are afraid of losing friendships. They're afraid of losing family members. They're afraid of not being a part of the group.
And
That's what I think.
They don't want to, and a lot of
So
people,
do
you're
you
right.
and do me. My mom got a shirt to say I'm doing me. That just means, doing your thing. It have nothing to do with y'all being rude.
And you know what? And what I say is when I say that is because people want to ride that. Well, that's just when I've heard that that's
There
just
you
how
go.
I am.
That's just how they are.
No, that's just how you choose to be.
Mm-hmm.
That is just how you choose to be. And what happens is people say that, and then other people don't correct that.
And
Um,
that's the thing. I think I mentioned to you, a girlfriend of mine, a guy who is just a mean asshole. Excuse my French, y'all. If y'all out there like on Donnie's side, I do curse. I just try not to. So bless me, pray for me. I'm working on it. My thing is, he's a bully. He's an absolute bully to people. And when he bullied me, I bully back. I shouldn't say bully back. I buck back. I buck the system because most people say
well,
that
no, you stood your ground.
stood my ground.
Right.
But most people that toxic. I was in a book club and we talked about that phrase of that's just how they are. That's the most toxic phrase ever because it's an excuse. But going back to that, this particular person, I love her and I respect her, but this kind of took a little bit out of me that her and I were in the middle of a conversation just like this. He walks in the front of me. Now, this was after he did the crazy stuff to me. This is another time afterwards. Walked in the middle of me and just started talking to her. I mean, we were like in the middle of a conversation.
Right.
He walked in the middle of us and just started talking to her. When he finished, he walked away. I looked at her and said, well, before I looked at her, I looked at her first because I'm thinking that's your friend and you just let him do that. But then it was two guys that happened to see it too. And they were like, wow, that was rude. You know what she said? Oh, that's just how he is. You know how he is. And they're still the best of friends. I can't let people be around me. Let me not say that. I can't let them. I choose not to be that connected because what I used to tell my kids was guilty by association. I don't want to be around nobody that's around here bullying folks and acting crazy with people and treating people bad. I don't want to be. I mean, hey, what's up?
Well, I mean, it goes to that thing that we've often talked about is accountability, is having people around you that hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and what was that thing I've heard? I've heard that sometimes people become offended by people who hold them accountable. And you should never be offended by somebody that's holding you accountable because if someone is actually holding you accountable, to me, that means that they really care.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is riding along with everything that you do, they're not saying a word, they just sitting up there allowing you to. That's not
a friend that cares.
That's right. That's not somebody that cares. And the most
what they call it, going along to get along.
Going along to get along. If it's that thing, I think that people. You're right. A lot of people want to go along. A lot of people don't want to be seen as the
drama person. Because I get
the
that
drama
title.
or that's the one over there and
everywhere she goes, she got something to say. Or everywhere she always, you don't bother me.
But everybody should have the right to speak their mind in a respectful manner. Okay, everybody should have the right. See, everyone should have the right to speak, and people should be able to also not just listen, but hear. Not to always respond to something, but sometimes let me just listen to try to get an understanding. I think it says something in the word about that. Of all things, get an understanding. And what a lot of us miss is getting understanding. We get in this and we go along and we ride this and we ride that, even when it's rude and disrespectful, point blank. You can see something that's rude or see somebody that's being rude and disrespectful. I mean, let me give an example.
And if it's a friend, I understand if it's some stranger or whatever, you may not say, you see somebody being rude, you may not say, I get that because it's the world is crazy. But if it's a friend of yours, someone you consider a friend, or as they always call him, their brother,
Right.
what's wrong with? And then you didn't have to. Well, right then, and this is only me, would have probably said, "Now, Charles, you saw me and that girl talking. Why would you just step in the middle? That was very rude."
Right.
That's what needed to be said. Because
And I get that.
by you just allowing him to do that,
You know,
that
I'm that.
feel it was
You know,
okay.
I'm that fella. I'll be like, excuse me, I am standing right here. Excuse me, excuse me. You know, and but and my nature is not combative. It's more of a kind, sarcastic kind. But I'm gonna say what I say. But it's that kind. It's not to be. It's kind of like this. The example I was gonna give I've had this. You have people that are walking out of a door. You see somebody with some bags, and you rushing to get in, but you won't even hold the door open for them.
All day.
Or those people, and I'm that one right there. You hold the door open for somebody, and they just walk on through and don't even say thank you. So I just say it for you're welcome.
I do that.
You welcome.
The other thing is, I know that we won't go into the business side yet. We'll still say personal, but the other thing is that term, I just want to keep the peace. I believe in that to a certain extent because you can still keep the peace
Right.
by defending yourself, by saying to someone that you know or you're friends with, or is your brother or your sister. Because people do that. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not really into that. Like, I got a sister. She my sister. And that means something to me. That's my sister. I don't have no other sisters. I mean, I got some step sisters, some half sisters, but I got one sister. I don't really do the, and I understand what they're saying, the sisters, but I don't go around calling everybody my sister because y'all ain't my sister.
Well, I got a bunch of them. I call them my sisters. I got sisters and my brothers. Okay, my sister, my brothers and sisters out there. Y'all know I love y'all.
It's nice, I guess, but I ain't into the my sister this and my sister that, and my sister. I got one.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
she's my blood sister, and I don't want to confuse that with anybody. I don't want anybody to be confused about that. It's like my daddy. My daddy is my daddy. Right. And this is so off topic, but my daddy is my daddy. And out of respect for him, I'm not gonna call anybody else dad. Now I have a wonderful bonus dad. But out of respect for that man, they gave me life. Right. I got one daddy and I got one mama, got one sister. Because first of all, never mind. But anyway, that was off topic. But I said that because I was thinking about them calling this man brother. It annoys me. But anyway, so going along to get along, I'm keeping the peace. You can still keep the peace and defend yourself. You can still keep the peace and tell someone, hey, that was not cool. Because think about something that you did. We won't go into complete details, but something happened to you about a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. And it bothered you. And you didn't say anything at the time. And you let it go. But you had to go back and ask that person, can we have a conversation? And once you got that off your chest, that person was able to say, you know what?
And you know what? I'm glad and I'll talk about it. It's mm-hmm. no big thing. Mm-hmm. And I think I've shared a little bit of it before. I had an incident, on the job incident where I had a person that, customer was not happy. I was sitting in an office with my supervisors, and the customer was on the phone, and he said some very, very, very hurtful. And if y'all know the country boy, not very much, but I take pride in customer service. Okay, this old boy right here, I take pride in customer service. I take pride in treating people with dignity and respect and going above and beyond everything. And this guy was heated for whatever reason, but it wasn't the guy the customer that I felt any kind of way about. It was my supervisors that I felt some kind of way about. Because I felt like I'm here with you. You know me. You know me. And for you not to stand for me, that hurt. For you to allow this, that really, and it took me. I'm telling you, it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I prayed and I cried on the way home because woo, woo, that one right there shook me to my core. Honestly, it did. And indeed, I did. I prayed and I prayed for the man. And let me tell y'all something. I'm saying all this because I'm gonna go somewhere with it. Let me tell you, if there is that, yes, um, pray on it because then that'll get you some. That'll bring you some kind of peace. It won't resolve it. Now, let don't. I'm gonna say this. It won't resolve it, but it'll bring you some peace. How I got a resolution from it was after my peace, I went back and had a conversation with my supervisor, and I told them how that incident made me feel in a respectful way. It wasn't no yelling, you this, that, and the other. It was, this is how this made me feel as the person that I am, as what I come here and I bring here. When you didn't say anything, this is how I felt. And we had a wonderful conversation. We talked about it. We talked
And he
about even
even
more.
realized it made him realize
Yes.
what he, because he didn't really realize what he had done or how it, it made you feel.
And and it was funny because he was like, "You want me to call him right now?" I say, "No, I don't want you to call him right now." I mean, it wasn't about him. What I want you to know is how what you did made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will tell you this: prayer works, and things change. Because let me tell y'all something, and they might be watching tonight because we had a laugh about it today. That same custom that my supervisor, my company went above and beyond for, got him the stuff that he needed, didn't charge him for it, gave him a full refund and shipped it to him for free, got all of that. Them parts that he needed, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? He ended up breaking. So guess what he had to do? Today, this same fella, now he ain't said nothing to me, but this same fella was in the place today. He was in the place because he was bringing his equipment in to get repaired. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Understand this. Understand this. And I stopped. I did. I stopped my supervisor. I say, "How's your day doing today?" I say, there's a thing called karma, don't you? And you call it karma. You call it sowing and reaping. You call it
There's
whatever
no
you want to call
deadline.
it. But it's gonna come back around. Now the same fella that did all of this, and I prayed for him. And I ain't saying I'm wishing no bad or nothing.
Oh yeah.
But understand this, that same fella had to come back to the same place where the same fella he talked about like a dog. Now he got to spend more than he spent before. It come back. Let me tell you something. It come back. But what you have to do is understand if you just, one, speak your heart. I'm not saying speak it in anger. If you're angry about it, take the time, pray, calm down, whatever it takes. But don't let, and because I was doing it, and I can speak on it because I was doing it, I was allowing what had happened to me to fester inside of me. Because for a moment, what I gave, and I think the little Diva and I talked about this, for a moment, all I was giving my supervisor was a hey, good morning. Because what I had started doing was, I how did my cousin put it? I was no longer going to the job. I was sending my representative.
Yep.
And I'm not that person. I want to be there, and I want to be there fully.
Present.
And I said my representative couldn't come, so my spirit wouldn't allow my representative. My spirit said, "Look here, rep, you got to go because we need what we need is the country boy back in here." And to each and every one, if there are some things and people are disrespecting or you feel disrespected, I'm not saying going in the heat of the moment. Understand this. I'm saying because sometimes we will speak out of our feelings. That's not how we need to. That's not how you address. Don't address things out of your feelings, because guess what them feelings do? What you feel today, 2 minutes from now, you might not feel that same way. But speak from your heart. Speak from your pain or whatever it may be, or your disappointment. You know, I'm sure when that fella came up there and stood in between you, you wanted to speak from your feelings. Because I'm sure you had some feelings, little Diva. You probably was like, I know.
Well, I was actually sitting there hoping she was gonna say something. Well, I was actually in shock.
Right.
And then I was hoping she said something because I knew if I said something, because rewinding, when he did that to me and bucked me, and this boy about 20 feet tall, and I'm this little.
Right.
And I don't want to use the word charged at me. That's a bit strong, but I'm going to say he bucked me. And y'all know what bucked mean. Like you ready to fight me. Like you ready to get down with me. First of all, a man.
Right.
A whole man. Well, I guess. A man. And a huge man bucked me over something he didn't even know what I was doing. It was a compliment, but I was saying something before the compliment. So he didn't know what I was talking about before he started going off.
Right.
And I ain't never had a fight in my entire life, ever. But I was gonna beat him up that night. I was gonna beat him up. I was gonna beat him up because I was really mad for him to talk to me that way and bug me. But anyway, in between that time, though, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, because we hang out in the same place at least once a week. And it was my birthday. Matter of fact, it was my birthday party. In a great mood. I saw him run around doing stuff, trying to be seen like he always do. And I said, me and my sister-in-law, we were sitting at a table, and it was a chair here. I said, so and so, come on over here. I already said his name, but anyway, come on over here, so and so. And I said, sit right here. You know how you pat a seat, say, come sit right here. That dude walked over there and said to me, you not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You gonna learn how to talk. And I never said a word. I just looked at him and said, okay. That's all I had for him, because I wasn't gonna act a fool like that. Right. I knew that, because what I was trying to do was make peace, because we're in the same venue often, and we have some of the same common people, and that can make people uncomfortable sometimes when two people in the group are not clicking, even though it wasn't me, it was him. But so I tried to do that. But see, when I did that, and again, it was long after the first incident happened. Right. So I thought, okay, let me put out the olive branch. Let me be the bigger person. Because, it don't make sense for us grown people to be running around here not speaking. Right, right. When he did that, first of all, my sister-in-law was like, and mind you, she fight. I don't fight, she fight. But she just said, girl. I said, I know, but no problem. And from that on, I said, okay, so I've done my part. Right. As the adult, the adult in the room. And I let that go. So when that happened with that girl, I didn't say anything, because I know what caused last time. And being we were in very close proximity, that I don't know what would have happened. So one, I was trying to keep an altercation from happening. Two, I was shocked. And three, I was really expecting her to address it. Like, hold on, Charles, move over. Right. And a lot of times we don't get that. And I will never say to anyone that it's wrong to speak what you feel and how you feel. I think that is so important, because I don't think you have to scream and yell and holler. No. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying for me, like, it is not my practice to be screaming. I am a little bit, my kids tell me I'm a little aggressive when I speak sometimes when I'm upset. So I am a little aggressive, and I work on that, because when you finally get me to the point where I'm mad, right, I'm trying to come for your jugular. I can't fight, but I be trying to make them words pierce. And that's a lot. And that's when you, for me, I understand that. I understand that aspect of it too. I've had people to come for mine on several occasions. I ain't gonna say several, on a few occasions. Mm-hmm. But I am just at the point where I don't. A lot of it. You're able to let it roll off your back. I am, because what I think that for me, mm-hmm. and ain't Christian-y, but I think that I know that there's
a lot of people, there's something bigger working in people sometimes. There's a lot more working behind the scenes. See, I firmly believe that
But we can't
biblically.
give people excuse to talk to us crazy.
No, 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 no. No. I don't think it's. I think
Wrong is wrong, and
wrong.
wrong is wrong. You're
It's
not
always
supposed to
wrong,
talk to me
and
any kind of way.
I agree. I mean, I think that I just try to handle it in a way,
Yeah.
in a way, in a time when
Mhm.
it's like, okay, look, you know what? You probably heated over something. I'm gonna let you have that for this moment. But there gonna come a moment. I'm gonna be like, look here, I need you, just like I did there.
Right.
We gonna come over here and we gonna have a conversation about this. Um,
If
and
they're
try
willing,
if they're willing,
you're
if
speaking of a perfect situation.
yeah, and I try to make them all perfect. It don't
Yeah, but
always.
they're not, because
No,
you might be perfect, but
no,
that person may not be perfect.
yeah,
That
yeah,
person ain't there, and you just may have been lucky that you've had that. This particular person, I put out the olive branch,
right,
and he went cuckoo. Well, he didn't go cuckoo because he already stupid and crazy, but he just showed it. He showed his immaturity and his disrespectfulness, which I think is what irks me
right,
within the world that we live in.
and that
Those
is,
things like that happen, like we spoke of last week. Those things like that happen. People are mean. They're rude. You're watching everybody, and I have to say sometimes, I be like, don't nobody else see what I see. You don't hear this person. You don't see the common denominator of all of these things that are going on. You don't see the problem to where maybe you should take your friend over to the side and have this conversation with, hey, some ain't right, boo. Love you,
yeah,
but we need to figure out a way that you can quit being involved in so many situations.
and that is so true, and that's that, a lot of time back to that thing where we have, unfortunately, as a whole, us, we have condoned things for so long.
We continue to
and
condone.
and when you know we know that there are things that we should stand and speak on, but because where we are, it goes against this group. If you say this, then you're going to be ostracized, and so many different
Oh my
things.
God, ostracized. That is the word. Ostracized.
If I can't, so many different areas, and I can touch on it. You can't say certain things about certain races, or you can't say certain thing about certain sexes, or if you say this, then you automatically assume to be something because you have a feeling. It doesn't mean, look, if I feel a certain kind of way, one on I want to raise my children, say I want to raise my children to whatever, I don't know, to eat popcorn.
Mm-mm.
I want to raise my children to eat popcorn, okay? I feed them other stuff, but they like popcorn, and every Wednesday I give them popcorn. Now somebody says, "Oh Lord, that's just a terrible," because we are against popcorn. Now you just a horrible person. No, listen. My thing is this: I'm not infringing on you. I'm not disrespecting you, but sometimes we try to take this thing to a whole disrespectful level of you can't, unless you're in this group. If you step outside of it, if you do anything outside of it, then we gonna shame you. We gonna put you out, and we gonna make you this. It's horrible. It is horrible. Again, the moral fiber has been so ripped where everything, so much of what I grew up on, the foundation of the right and the wrong, people have twisted it and turned it to fit into what they want now. And if you don't agree with them, boy, we finna talk about you. We finna put you out there. We finna put you out there. We finna, oh, look at you. You this kind of person. No, we believe in what we believe in. that doesn't make it right or wrong. It
It
makes
doesn't
it
make
what
it
you
right.
believe.
But it takes us as people and friends and families to take the stand and tell people. Again, like you said, we don't have to say it in a mean way. We don't have to say it in a horrible way. We have to do it in a loving way. And if we care about these people, we say that's our sisters and brothers.
Right,
We've got to be able, and if they care about us,
right,
they
right,
should be willing to listen. That hey, and again, if it's your sister, your brother, you should know that they wouldn't tell you anything that's not right, or they wouldn't tell you anything to hurt you. They're telling you
right.
to help you. So it's time for people to be open and tell people when they're wrong. Now I will get moving into the same thing, and let me back up a little bit. I'm okay, and I didn't used to be okay with it, and I lost friends because um our thoughts were different. I even lost a friend. We're friends again now, but it will never be the same because um I asked her how I thought something was going on with our friendship. Something was wrong. So I called, like, hey, what's going on? I know something different. And I don't know what happened, but it ended up being this big old argument.
Yeah.
Big argument. And I still to this day don't understand why it became an argument. Now again, sometimes my tone when I'm stressed or upset, my tone can be a little aggressive, which is something I work on. But if you know me, and you are my friend, you would know that about me. And I'm not saying that's just how she is, but you would know, okay, she not meaning. And you can say, okay, well, Trina, you getting to that point. Let's back up, let's slow down,
Right.
or let's hang up and let's call back once we calm down. Or but anyway, whatever happened to that. But but those people want to remain friends with these people. So they're afraid of losing the friendship. They're afraid of speaking out against them. And what kills me is that the same things we talk about this, like this particular person is a bully, a big old bully. And we'll talk about all the people we see on the news. We
Mm-hmm.
hear about police officers bullying, or we see somebody bullying. We see all this, and we talk about it all day long. Oh, he treats women bad. He bullies women. We gotta ban him. But someone is right there in your doorstep. That's your
Right.
friend, your brother, your whatever, or your sister. You're okay with them doing those same things that celebrities or people out here in the streets are doing, that you decided, oh, we're not watching them, we're not listening to their music, we're not doing any of that. But this
We're,
same person in your circle
right. We're
is doing the
selective.
same thing, but you still, because you want to be a part of that group, or you want to be part of that clique, or you want that person to like you so much that you're willing to sacrifice your
Integrity.
and your integrity for
Yeah.
it. Because
It's selective judgment.
selective judgment.
I'm gonna pick it. Well, you did this, but oh, well, you know what? It's okay because I can condone you, but this and over here,
Mm-hmm.
we will march up and down, and we will turn over everything in the
We
world
out here
because
marching out here on this freeway, and to be honest with you, country boy, that is what I think about all the time.
yeah,
And about this particular person, and let me not say all the time, 'cause I don't think about him. But he don't hold that much space in my mind now. But back then when it first happened, and I
right,
saw all these people still, and it still comes to me sometimes because he has this, he has this birthday party about it, and all these people come and hug and just, oh my gosh, they pour up, and I'm thinking, nah. How many people had this man bullied and treated bad and y'all still, and I ain't saying don't be his friend. I ain't saying that at all. And I'm not saying to embarrass him, to ostracize him, none of that.
right.
But you gotta not let him have the same behavior. You've got to help him realize that his behavior is not appropriate. And if you
And
are
that's what
really
we all should do
his
for each
friend,
other.
yeah.
And
And
that's what we.
mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say that's what we should do for each other. Is that's that wonderful thing of having accountability partners and people in our lives that hold us
Hold us
accountable.
accountable.
And again, some people, what is it? Some people, when you hold them accountable, they consider it an attack. No one's attacking.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be all defensive. If somebody's coming to you saying, "Hey,"
Sit
and
down, sit down.
sit down. Go, get over there and sit down. Just come on over there and sit down. And they're not out with a bullhorn telling you. They're not out. See,
They've come to you in love. And I know, I don't know the scripture, but I know somewhere in the word it talks about having a conversation. I think it's women with younger women having a conversation with people when you know they're doing right, instead of embarrassing them, and you bring them to you and you have a conversation with them to help them to get to a better place.
You know, and then and here's that other thing that I know that I've seen personally. If you have a conversation with somebody and like, hey, this, that, and the other, first thing I want to do is say, well, what about you? Wait a minute. Look, yeah, I got issues. I got, we all, but I'm saying, what I'm saying is I'm telling you these things because a lot of times, the outward can see things that the inward can't.
Absolutely.
And when the outward is coming in a loving way, in a caring way, not trying to knock you, not trying to demean you, but coming in a loving, caring way, we have been almost taught to be defensive. But if somebody say something about you, don't let. I'm I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help. And a lot of people, I understand that you have to want to receive that. You have to be in a place to receive that, in a good place, in a good space, maybe.
Right.
Because if you're in a bad space, you're gonna take everything as an attack. It don't matter what it is. It's always an attack. Always an attack, and it's not. Um, but a lot of people, some people would prefer. They say that they don't, but they prefer hearing what other folks said about them from other folks, and be well, why didn't they come to me? Well,
well, you know, this goes into the business sector too. Paying our money to places who treat us like crap.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna say this first. People say, well, you should give people another chance, a second chance, whatever. And I get that. But I'm gonna just we shouldn't continue to give our money to a venue, a restaurant. Mm-hmm. What?
Y'all might just keep on strolling.
What's wrong?
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all might just have to keep on strolling. Look here, I can pay my money any way I want to, or any way I choose not to. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had to jump in what you said. If I choose that I don't ever want to go to McDonald's, guess what? Don't tell me nothing about what they got on the menu, because guess what? I choose not to go there no more. Now, if you choose to go. I woohoo for you. But don't try to tell me because of how.
Was I telling you something? I ain't finished my story. I ain't get started in my story.
I know, you got me.
Okay. What I was saying was that I'm like, what? Now I done shut up a lot tonight to let you talk. Now let me get my good story out. Get my review out so y'all can not go to this place. And yes, I will tell. I actually used to do this long time ago. I didn't tell people not to go, but I used to. So I was a promoter for the swing out dance community. And so I would go to different events, lots of it. I went to like 4 events in one night sometimes. But I would give like sort of a review, but I was never really mean. But I gave a review. It was kind of funny. You know, it was just really kind of witty. And I may say, oh, Lord, by the time I got in there, wasn't no food left. Or I don't know, chai, it was hotter than a sauna or something. Like but I gave a lot of the good, but then I would say things. And some people really thanked me, because they knew what to use for their next event. Right. So anyway, it was pretty cool for everybody. But there were like a few that just took it very personal. And that was sort of kind of where the demise of my So You Want to Dance came from, because some of those people became a team. You know how people quick to team up when it's negative and they're trying to get somebody banned or whatever. They quick to team up and do that. But anyway, long story short, I did it. But if I go to places, and I'm not a complete influencer, but to a certain extent, I am. And right. So when I go to places, I video, I talk about it, especially for nightclubs and bars and stuff, live music events. I tell people, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on. And people watch, or they say, well, right. I want to go there, you know. And so I pride myself on that, because matter of fact, one particular venue I went to, and it was state night when I went on every Wednesday. I had this big old beautiful steak and a glass of wine and a big old baked potato. And people came on saying, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I was like, this is where I'm at. I'm at this such and such lounge. The next maybe week after that, they went and with no steak. And the people told, oh no, we moved steak night to Thursday. Well, within a week, what? Of course they came to me because I'm the one told them it was steak night. They weren't blaming me, but they just said, girl, we saw your thing. And so we went over there to have steak night. They told us steak night was going to move. They didn't have no steak that night and they were going to probably move it to Thursday. Well, I called the owner and was like, you know, and and this is the first club owner I've had act that way. And I actually know him, but he got very defensive. And I'm like, well, what we defensive about? I'm just trying to let you know that there were people coming. So if you're going to have a steak night on Wednesday, at least hold it there for a few weeks. But this particular guy is very inconsistent anyway. But it's the point I was trying to say, hey, people want to come to your steak night and you didn't know it. So anyway, long story short, my point to that was, so people do watch, you know, even you or anybody else, if you're somewhere, people tend to watch and say, oh, okay, well, that looks good. Or I know Trina goes to these different places that's kind of cool. So it's a place called Cali. And I'm going to get to the point about the disrespect, y'all. I guess let me make the title, don't be going away spending your money if they disrespectful. Especially if the owner is disrespectful. But there's a place called Cali. Apparently they came here from California. I've seen it. It looks like a really cool building. And they have, it's called The Marathon Continues or Begins, whatever that little slogan is that the guy that got killed a few years ago made up. But I've been wanting to go. And then I saw a video with the inside. Looked like I was so freaking excited. And so I asked my daughter about it. So she gave me some of the history that she had heard. She hadn't been there, but she gave me some of the history. I said, okay, cool, I'm going to go there. Well, as soon as I said that, one of my favorite Zydeco bands, J. Paul Jr., put out a flyer saying he was going to be playing there. Perfect. Get to go catch up place and get to see one of my favorite bands, get me some Zydeco. And guess what? It's 8 minutes from my house. Beautiful, right? And this could probably be a place I could start going to once a week because it's down the street.
Right.
Get there, to make a long story short, we get there, go through the little hand. I'm trying to see if I have my purse I can show y'all, but I have a little bitty purse and the people checking your purse. I was so excited because I usually just open up my purse and be like, I don't know why y'all looking at my purse. Can't nothing fit in here. But I was so excited about going and getting in. And let me just say, I advertised it, posted the flyer everywhere. Got there. I took all the stuff out my little purse just so they could really see, so they could know I was good. I'm ready. Get up. So my friend had her bag checked, so she's at the door. She made reservations for us to have a table. And they even called her to confirm. There was no cost. So I walk up and I hear the lady say, so y'all gonna eat or y'all gonna listen to the music? I just thought to myself, well, we can't do both. We got to choose if we gonna eat at the restaurant or listen to the music. Okay. Because again, I got a goal. My goal is to get inside that building so I can see all these beautiful things that's happening. So then my friend said, well, I mean, we can't eat and enjoy the music. Oh, well, you know, if you sit at a table, it's going to, you have to have this much of a, it's a mandatory tab. And I think it was like $80, $90, something like that, whatever. And she was like, oh, they didn't tell me that when I made the reservations. And they said, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. And mind you, there's this other little lady sitting over to the side. We don't know who she is, but she just standing there. I'm not paying attention because, again, I got to go. Get us out the building.
Right.
So my friend said, oh, she said, well, what if we just want to go in and just listen to the music then? We're not going to sit at the table. No, we just want to sit at the table, sit at the bar stool and listen to the music. Oh, that's a $50 minimum per person. $50 minimum for me to come in your place and spend my money? Okay. So I still didn't say nothing. I got to go. I'm trying to get in that building. So I'm still standing there like a crazy woman. And this lady over here all of a sudden says, well, it's just like Prospect Park. So I said, all I said, didn't say it loud, didn't scream. I said, oh, what that got to do with us? What Prospect Park got to do with here is what I said. What Prospect Park got to do with here? Well, you know what? You can just leave.
Wow.
And I still was quiet and said, ma'am, I am 53 years old. I ain't here to start no problem. I was just saying, I didn't know what Prospect Park has to do with that. I I don't even go to Prospect Park.
Right.
It's a bunch of youngsters there. I don't like Prospect Park. Then I think she clicked that she realized I wasn't this hoodlum that she was stereotyping us as, in my opinion, which is another reason people shouldn't go there. So then I shut up because I gotta go. Trying to get in the building to see the pretty building. So my friend said, "Oh well, okay, well we'll go ahead and sit at a table." You know what she said? The hostess said, "Oh, it's less than 3 of y'all. If it's less than 3 people, you got to spend $150. $150." Well, all my friends said, she turned to me and said, "Ooh, I don't really want to pay $150. Here, this one. Well, look, I'm the owner, and both of y'all can leave." Well, you know, that was my exit. That was my exit left sign. Forget the building. I'm gonna go to the right, step to the left. Now you know. Now you tell me, country boy. And not only that, and which is why I don't give it a second chance. I would probably give it a second chance had this been the hostess.
Right.
But this woman announced to the whole entire United States that she was the owner. So if the owner is that rude, before she walked off, and she never did walk off, before I walked off, she said to the hostess, looking at us, "If you need some more help, just let me know." So I'm very, very offended, first of all. But I said, "Yeah, girl," and I wasn't mad. Well, I was mad, but I didn't say nothing. I just said, "Monica, I'm gonna let you have this. I'm fixing to go. Catch you later." And I left. So she texted me and just said, "I'm so sorry. I hate that happened to you." And I let it go for a moment that it happened to me, because she didn't realize it happened to her too. But I said, "Okay." So she said, "Well, the hostess really wants you to come back. She wants you to come back." I said, I don't give another opportunity for someone who announces themselves as the owner to be rude to me where I'm finna spend my money at. I'm taking my 2 little credit cards and head on to the next spot. Which, on a funny note, I was thinking, I done sat here and powdered my face down, put on makeup, lipstick. That's, makeup costs a lot of money. And I done used it to go up here. Didn't I tell you that I don't even want to go nowhere no more? What I tell you? I don't feel like putting on makeup. I want to put on the clothes. I did all that. And now I gotta go somewhere. I gotta find somebody else. I can't just go home and wipe that expensive makeup off. So, I had to find someone. And I actually ended up, let me just say, I went to Scott Gertner's Rhythm Room, who had great live music, who treated me very nicely, and it was free admission.
Free?
So,
you didn't pay $100.
FREE. It was free to get in. But anyway, my point to that, guys, is and then I posted on Facebook. All I said was, "Well, Cali is not the place for the little diva." Didn't say what happened because I knew I was gonna come on here and tell you.
Right.
And I'm gonna do it on Chat with Trina. Nobody knew what happened, but then people started coming on there saying, one guy I know said, I ain't gonna talk because he's ignorant. I'm gonna talk to the girl. One girl who was she really was just being nice. She really was trying to just say, "Oh, I went there and it was so cool. Even the owners were nice. So you should probably try it again." And what I said was, I don't give people a second time, the second opportunity to be disrespectful to me where I'm spending my money.
Right.
And that's the end of that. Now, again, had it not been the owner and I could call somebody and say, "Hey, this happened to me, blah, 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 blah," but I couldn't because she's the owner. So if the owner felt that way and was like that and did all that, what do you think her employees, how come, what would they be made accountable for anything?
Right.
So my point to that, guys, though, is these people still went in that building. People are still gonna go. If I would have put a post up to say this happened, they charging our own people, and this is not downtown, it's not midtown, it's not River Oaks. This is right at the hood. We right here and we close to Antoine. We're right here at 290. And you're charging the people in this area $50 to come and sit down at a bar stool to hear some music. Are you serious? And it's okay. I'll come in and spend my money, but you can't tell me how much money to spend.
Right.
And so my point is, for something like that, that should be something someone could post or put out, and people band together to a certain extent to say, you're gonna have to change that for us. Before we're not gonna, as a community, we're not gonna let you come here and penny pinch us.
Right.
You know, I even think, and I know people want to go in and see the band. I get that. Ain't no band. Now let me tell you, I love me some Maze. Love Maze. I ain't missing Maze. If they come, I'm gonna be there. I'm not friends with someone because I didn't go to their 50th birthday party because I had to go see Maze at the Cynthia Woods Pavilion. I ain't missing Maze. But if Maze come and go to that place, to Cali, at 290 and the Northwest Freeway, I will be missing Maze. That's how serious I think we should start being about these businesses that treat us this way. Now, my daughter had an issue and said, well, y'all say that, but y'all still go to these chain restaurants such as, because she understood, she thought they was wrong. When I told her, they said, everybody that I told, the person said, well, that's what Prospect Park do. Everybody was like, now that's where I would have lost it, because what is that? But my daughter was just saying that we tend to do this to small Black businesses. Not me. I do it to anybody that treat me bad. But she made a very valid point that we'll go to I'm gonna say Bennigan's. They ain't even know Bennigan's no more. Let's just say Chili's. We'll go in there and they treat us bad and be rude, and we gonna go back. Is how she sees it. And I'm sure we do. I'm sure we do. So she's saying it just seems like that there's not a balance in that.
I agree.
You agree with that?
I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree.
I think we need to do this with any business, whether it's Black owned. I don't think we need to have the expectation, because I see people sometimes say, that's another thing my daughter brought up too, is that people say, well, see, that's why I don't patronize Black businesses. I don't think we should say that. I think you don't cater to any business, whether they Black, white, Asian, African, whatever. If they treat you bad where you're spending your hard-earned coins, I got 699 jobs. I be tired. I'm not spending my hard-earned coins somewhere that the woman put me out. She told me I could leave twice.
And that goes to when you asked me, when you thought I was going off on you, that's what I was going off on, is that we if I choose not to go to a place because of the experience that I've had, don't come telling me how good it is. Don't come telling me, okay, I made a choice. I made a conscious decision because of what happened to me. I'm not saying that it will happen to you. I'm not saying that this is the hard. I'm saying my experience. What's that thing? My experience
is not
your experience.
Or your experience is not
my experience. Yeah, I mean, and so I'm just telling you what mine was. Excuse me. What we don't do is share those experiences. We don't. We feel like, oh well, let's not say anything, or let's just again, when right has become wrong, what we allow. Or wrong becomes right. What we allow people to do is treat us any kind of way until we get so fed up with being treated any kind of way. Then we want to blow up. When all we had to do was speak up in the beginning. It don't take going somewhere and constantly going to, I go every Sunday to have breakfast, okay? And again, I'm a customer service person, so I believe in customer service.
Right.
I believe in the fact that is one, if you don't treat your customers right, then they don't need to come. If the customer's not coming, you don't have a business.
Facts.
That's just how it works.
And these businesses seem to feel like they're okay without customers.
Well, you know what? Because what has happened is this. And again, folks, if y'all don't like it, keep scrolling. What has happened is that now we are catering to the businesses instead of the businesses catering to us.
That part.
We are doing everything we can to keep them in business, but they're doing nothing to keep us satisfied.
Keep our business. And on that note, this place, I went and read the reviews. This place charges $40. Remember, this is not River Oaks, downtown, midtown, none of them towns. It's at 290 Northwest Freeway. They charge $40 to park in the front after a certain time, I think after 9 o'clock or something, and in the back is $20.
Well, see, the thing is, again, we are catering to these places because we don't have to. We don't. And do they have security? Are we requiring them to have security? Or we just say we're gonna park here? See, the things that we don't even care about. Okay, are they protecting us? I'm just asking. I don't know. I ain't never been to the place, but I'm saying when are we gonna hold places and things accountable?
Accountable.
You know what?
How they treat us and what they given us for the money we finna give them.
Yeah, we act like they can treat us any kind of way, and we act like we just sometimes like
We
we
don't
just
make
got to.
nobody mad.
I don't want to make nobody mad, and I'm gonna keep on paying, and I'm gonna keep on paying because this is a place that whatever or we call that people go and I could be seen here. I don't look at here. That money that you spent, understand this. That's yours. I don't care if it was 20, 30, 40, or $100. That's yours. That you make the choice of where you want to give it. If you don't want to give it, then don't. You can't. Well, if you make the choice that hey, just like you, if you would have took that experience and say, you know what, it don't matter. I'm gonna go on in here and pay, and they kept treating you bad. Don't come back later and say, well, I can't believe because
Absolutely. Came in
you
there.
knew at the beginning. That's them people stepping on your feet. You know how people walk by, step on your feet. You don't say nothing. They come
Mhm.
by, step on your feet
Step on
again.
it
Then
again.
you don't say nothing. Then all of a sudden, the third time they step on your feet, then you want to get mad. No,
Right.
you had the option right there to say, oh, you know
And
what?
when you went in there, that told them that what they did at that door
Was okay.
was acceptable.
Yep.
You won't find. And again, I should have walked the first time. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But I had that goal. I want to see the pretty inside. But I'm gonna say something else. And I mentioned that about bands. Like if Maze come play there, Trina won't be there. As much as I love Maze, I won't be there. And I think that's the other thing: the power that we have. One, we got the power to put people out of business. To be really honest with you, bottom line, we have the power to put people out of business. But if you do want to go see your bands, you got that power too. You've got the power to make that band not play there no more.
Yeah.
You go to a place and they're treating you bad at the door. No, I ain't gonna. I probably won't. Well, was people think certain things. I wouldn't have said anything to the particular person that played that night. But if everybody says, "Ooh, they charge $50," that's too much for them to be charged. Instead of trying to show that you got it, so you pay
Right.
it. Because it don't matter if I have it or not. I ain't giving y'all $50 to go sit on some bar stool. You're not getting my hard-earned coins to sit on a bar stool, and I have to give you $50. I might have just $80. Anyway, if we band together and we support each other, we could then go to the band and say, or don't go. The band ain't gonna play that without no people there.
Right.
They wouldn't have a choice but to go somewhere else. Say, hey, this ain't working out. They don't have to say you ran off my customer. You don't say nothing because everybody gonna know why. But you gotta be able to say, y'all know what? They treating us bad. They trying to penny pinch us because they know this particular band is playing. They know all these people are gonna come. So they're trying to make every dime they can off of us.
Right. Right. But we fall into those traps, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it so many times. And I laugh because I think of the experiences back, when I was hitting the clubs and running the streets. Let it be.
You ran the streets,
I did. I told them
Donnie. I'm
streets
just
up.
messing with you.
Ooh, wait. Lord, how much? I think about, right up here. Um, my favorite club I used to go to, Times Square, and I went there I was Friday night, Saturday night. I was there Sunday night.
They know
Johnny,
you, huh?
I was there. But see, here was the thing: is I distinctly remember it's the same club, but when New Year's Eve came, same club, DJ didn't change. Same DJ, same music. Okay, he playing the same music on New Year's Eve that he played like 3 weeks before. Same music, same DJ, same drinks, same everything was the same. But it went from $5 to $15,
Right.
and I'm going like, wait a minute. This
They didn't do nothing extra. They didn't have a nice buffet, a big buffet and everything.
no, they put some balloons
Really?
up.
Because most clubs have some extra and then they charge
Yeah,
it upon it.
some balloons on the wall. Okay, there's some balloons. I have some balloons. Okay, but but my thing was this for me at that point. It was like
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I really don't have to. And I get that you know, but again, I just say it's our hard earned money. You don't have to. That's what. It just thank you, Lord. You know
I
what I
just
just.
want to keep
You
keep
know what I just felt.
mhm.
That's like paying somebody to disrespect you.
And that's what I was gonna say. I want to make sure that we keeping everybody in mind that we talked about how they treating us in there.
Yeah.
Because it is a trend that clubs charge more on that night. One, it deters some of the crazies to come in there. Some of the crazy people that come out on New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
If you charge them money, it deters some of them from wanting to come in. But but they should have gave you a cup of rice, some crowns or some balloons.
I just back then I just jumped the fence. It was okay.
You jump the fence. Not done it nowadays. You couldn't jump the fence because they ready to shoot. You
Yeah,
can't be jumping no
I
fences no
just
more.
I just jumped the fence back then. That was back in the day, y'all.
Oh Lord, you done come a long way, my friend.
I just jumped the fence, went on in there, act like I'd been
You
there.
came in the backside.
Yeah, I came in the backside.
So on
You ever been to Times Square?
oh yeah.
Okay, you know what that back door is that lead out
That's
to the.
why I said you came through the back.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. I jumped that fence right there and went through and then went
But
that way.
look, that makes me think about this place. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's as soon as you come down OST, it's right there to the right hand side. It's a little old place, been there for a million years. And we used to go in there. Everybody would go
Oh,
there.
the one that's
Not the triangle. As soon as you come to OST, as soon as you cross
okay.
over, it's right there. Oh, what is it called? Anyway, people go in there and eat during the day. I mean, it's just a hangout. It's really small. But anyway, when I was new over there on that side of the world, I thought, oh, I wonder what's back there. Here I am nosy. I'm walking on to the back. Guess where I was when I looked up? Outside. So there was a backside. I thought there was something happening back there. People was going that way. It was outside. It was a porch out there. People sitting on this porch. But I was so embarrassed. I was like, ooh, but I had to wait off and go back the other way.
Oh,
So
Lord.
funny. But at the end of the day, we are coming up on our time, but we hope that you got the message of what we're saying is that we have gotten to the point, and Donnie said this to me, so I'm not going to, he said this to me the night some things happened. The first thing he said was, people are making wrong right now. Wrongs are being made right. Yeah. People treating you bad has become a thing. And in my case, in my experiences, I tend to get blamed. Oh, Trina did this, or Trina shouldn't have said nothing, so I'm to blame, which is really hard and is very, very hurtful. And I do try to just let it go, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't let you talk to me any kind of way. I can't let you treat me any kind of way without me saying. And I will try not to say anything. I will, but I've got to defend myself, my family. I'm just not going to let you do me any kind of way, especially one, when I got to spend my money, but two, just a person in general. And you guys got to realize how much it would help. Is that crazy when you say it'll help the world? It'll help lots of things if we just start speaking up and being able to tell our friends, hey, that's not cool. Don't do that. It's nothing wrong with saying that. I've been told so many times, girl, just let that go. That's just how they are. But is that fair that they're doing that around me?
Right.
Go over there. I don't want to be, and I don't know if that sounds bougie or not, but I don't want to be connected with people who are like in certain ways. And I'm not saying people can't change, right? But if you try to talk to them and they don't want to change, then I don't want to be in your presence, and I don't want you to be in my presence, because that's gonna, everywhere we go somewhere, I'm gonna be thinking, okay, we got to deal with this, or oh, what's gonna happen tonight, or what's gonna happen at this event. You understand what I mean?
I mean, as we grow and we mature, there are just certain things that we're just not.
You can't tolerate some things, but
that's the word. That's the word. You know, it's like, look
I
here.
know my tolerance level has dropped.
You know, right. Well, mine has, but what has happened? My sarcasm has increased, kind of like your daughter. My sarcasm has increased. My tolerance is really low, but
You know how to
and
handle it a different way.
I just handle it in a different way.
Yeah, I get that.
Again, but no one. Let me say this, and I'm gonna piggyback on what you said.
Mhm.
No one has the right to disrespect you. No business has the right to disrespect you.
And also, I'm sorry, you got to say this too, though. Oh, I think that's so true. And you shouldn't let them, because
Right.
then it becomes your fault,
Yeah.
right?
You can only, you don't have to tolerate and be around and accept disrespect from people. You don't. You really don't. If you feel that way, then guess what? No matter what it is, then just be like, no, I can't. And it's okay. It really is okay because it goes back to that word that I've said. That word is understanding that we are worthy. It's worthy. We're worthy to be respected. We're worthy to be treated with decency and respect. We're worthy of that. And no one, you don't have to allow anyone to blatantly, openly disrespect you. Now, I ain't saying this, I ain't saying you got to jump down their throat. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying, first and foremost, find yourself and find your peace. And if you feel that, hey, you know what, I need to address this, never try to address it in anger.
Right.
Don't try to address it in anger.
And
Sit
it might
back.
be okay to, it's okay sometimes to walk away, which was
Yes.
something when I was younger. I couldn't. I wanted to nip it in the bud. And so that was a big problem I had in a job I had with someone. I wanted to get it nipped in the bud. And that's good for a certain sense, but that other person may not be ready for that. So I had to learn to say, you know what, hold it and come back later when the heat is down and everybody's not all up in the air.
Right.
There was something I definitely had to learn.
And we all have to learn that. We all have to learn that. We all want to jump in that pool in the very beginning. We all want to jump right in there in it until we realize it's kind of cold when you get in there. So now you just stick your
Got
toes.
cold, got to put your toe in
Put your
first.
toes
Gotta put your toe in it. I just can't emphasize enough how good it feels too, though, to be able to defend yourself. I was someone who back in the day, and I ain't gonna say back in the day, hell, it's probably like 3-4 years ago, that I was not that person.
Right.
I did let people treat me any kind of way, say whatever they want to say to me because I want to keep the peace. And I, that when my dance community that I always talk to y'all about, I went all those years working, doing my thing, and just let people say whatever. I mean, I would do a post for somebody or advertisement, and they'll cuss me out because I spelled something wrong, and I would just let them do it. I just let them do it. But as soon as I found my voice, I started saying the word no. You're not going to talk to me that way. This is not going to happen this way. I'm not going to do this. You got to pay me for this. What I became ostracized.
Mm-hmm.
Because people want you to be the yes person. Yep. They want you to be okay with the disrespect. And the businesses, for sure. Have you ever seen how, I don't want to use the word crazy, how defensive and upset they get sometimes if you've ever made a complaint? Right. Or this particular, the Cali place, I went on their comments, what do you call them, their reviews? Oh my gosh, the most unprofessional responses. People would say something, and most of the time when you go on people's reviews, no one says anything back. They may say, "Oh, thank you for your post," or "Thank you for commenting," but and that takes a lot of time. Every single review someone gave, these people came back with a paragraph back to these people. Now, mind you, they had a lot of 4 and 5 stars, but people were saying things like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go. I love that, Julie. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Exactly. You have to teach people. But anyway, people were they so it tells you their mentality as well, that they felt they need like one of them said they don't treat their employees well. Oh, we know who you are. You're a business.
Right.
Why are you even saying anything to that if you know who they are? And the last thing before I let Country Boy, I slipped my tripper trap and let Country Boy have it. Miss Julie made me think about something. And this is just a funny story that my daughter, she used to be the executive team lead at Target years ago, and actually for her first professional job. And there was a young girl that came to work there, blonde, blue eyes. I'll just say that. And she said a lot of things, talked a lot of things. And my daughter is just really just, you know. So her boss asked her one day, well, I'm gonna just say the girl named Julie because she looked like a Julie. She sounded like a Julie. She said, well, why do Julie talk to everybody else crazy, but she don't never say nothing to you? She said, well, I'm gonna teach Julie I've taught Julie how she gonna treat me. She's not gonna treat me any kind of way. And then he told her, he said, well, she said you said you don't she said that you said that she don't work for you, that you don't work for her. She said, I don't. Do I? Did something change? So, you know what I mean? And he had to scratch his head like, I guess that's true.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. But I thank y'all, and I'm going to pass it on to Country Boy, but thank y'all for tuning in. I hope that you got something out of this, and just continue to think about how you go to work every day on jobs you probably halfway don't want to go on half the time, and doing the work that you do, the wonderful, awesome work I'm sure that you do, and to doing all that to just make a paycheck. That you got to take that paycheck, and you, well, not got to, you take that paycheck to go put it in the hands of someone who doesn't give a darn about you.
Right.
Who feels like you coming to their club is a privilege, or this was a restaurant, it wasn't a club. Into their restaurant is a privilege to you, versus you being a privilege. It being a privilege that you came to spend your money and support their business. That's what we have to remember. Screw who's playing there, what band is playing there. Forget the people that's inside hanging out, ready to hang out. Forget them. Well, I mean, if they want to come, I don't even do that. I've had people say, well, I'll pay you, and that's all right. I don't even want you to spend your money on me in there. Right. So let's work on that. And then lastly, what's even bigger for me is working on making your people accountable for their behavior. Yeah. And no, you can't make grown people do anything, but you can try. You can at least have a conversation. If you see them do something out of line, that's right there. Say something.
Right.
They maybe they don't realize what they're doing.
Right. That's it.
Country Boy has a prime example. His boss didn't realize what he did, but once he brought it to his attention in a nice, kind way, he was like, wow, I did do that. You know? So do that. You just never know the difference that you can make by telling him, hey, dude, some of the stuff you do is just not cool. And I don't want to be, in the presence of that kind of behavior. So let's work on this. Yep, so that's my 2 cents. And I thank y'all for listening to all my stories.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I'm gonna take it just a little bit, and it's not just about bars and clubs. I don't care if it's Family Dollar, Dollar General, Walgreens, Walmart. Let me tell you something. You don't have to. I mean, I know we act like we got to go to these places, or the one thing I've learned and I've heard so many times is the reason nothing ever changes is because we're gonna keep on going to these establishments.
Exactly.
And we're gonna keep on letting them treat us how they treat us. And it's true. If you know that you are not being treated with respect and dignity somewhere, then you don't have to go there. You really don't. Trust me. It may not seem like it, but the reason that each and every one of those places are open in your neighborhoods is because there's a neighborhood and there are people in that neighborhood. If the people stop going, there's no need for those places anymore.
No need.
There's no need. So what we have to do is stand up and say, I demand to be treated with respect. If I'm going to come into your establishment then you're going to treat me with dignity and respect. I ain't saying you got to be all put your chest bust out and tell them that you break out the finest stuff. No, I'm just saying just
Right.
general respect, courtesy. But see, that also starts with us. We can't expect places to do what we don't. If we ain't even treating our own self with respect and dignity, if we're not if we're not carrying ourselves that way, why should they treat us that way? Now that's something to think about. The other thing is, yes, what she said about holding people, our friends, these people we call brothers and sisters and homies and my ride or dies and my roly rolls or whatever you want to call them. We call them, but we don't hold them accountable for their actions. We should, out of love. If you truly love someone, truly love, as you say, I love you and I want to see you do better, we hold them accountable. See, the greatest thing you can have in this world is an accountability partner.
Absolutely.
That's that person gonna be like, mm-mm. Now you know. Wait a minute, what's that? Wait a minute. Now what'd you do?
I don't know what you was talking. I thought you was going back on what you did earlier. I was like, wait a minute, you did it again.
Look, now what you do?
No. But even I know I wasn't gonna talk no more, but even my daughters, when they told me, Mama, sometimes your voice can, when you're talking and speaking, you're very aggressive when you talk, when you speak. And even though I'm this tiny little thing, so I'm thinking, surely I don't sound like that. Surely I don't be mean. But hearing them say it, I had to, of course, it's like, I don't believe that. Like, how would I do that? I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about, whatever. And I had to go back and say, okay, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why when I'm trying to talk to someone, have a conversation with someone, sometimes it doesn't work out because I'm being aggressive in my tone when I'm not meaning to. I'm just meaning to make my point, I guess. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they told me because it made me say, okay, maybe this is something that I need to be watching to see if this really happens. And I found it to be true. That when I'm mad about something, I got to say it. And when I say it so fast. And then, I already talk fast. Say it so fast that it can come across ugly and make other people already angry before, we get into a good conversation. But it took someone
to be
who
able
loves
to
me
right
to say it.
And that's the one thing I'm saying is like let's just be here and hold ourselves and hold others accountable that we care about, that we genuinely care about. Um, that's all this old boy here got to say.
I'm sorry. I was
Go
looking for
ahead.
the story real quick. Let me find it real quick. I want to make sure we say this.
Okay.
Let me find his name real quick. Can you hear this?
Story right here hit me. Ralph, y'all.
Sorry. Oh, it stopped. Anyway, his name is Ralph something. But it's a young boy who went to pick up his brother and sister from babysitter's house after school. Went to the house and it was the wrong house. And instead of the person coming, I said, "Oh, you have the wrong house." He killed him. No, he didn't kill him. Back up. Sorry, God. He shot him. And after he shot him, he came outside. He shot him through the door. But then when he came outside, he shot him again in the head.
Oh, wow.
Now he is surviving, but it's very, 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 it's a sad story. But he's surviving and it looks like he came home today.
Wow.
So y'all look him up. I was trying to see this baby's name. Oh, Ralph, Y-A-R-L. Ralph, Y-A-R-L. Young baby. I think he was 16. No one that gets in trouble. He plays, what is this? He's playing a saxophone, I believe. He's picking up his two little brothers from this person's, from the house. And so y'all keep that family, the mom in prayer. They've raised a lot of money for him. To make sure, because he's gonna have to, of course, have surgeries and all that kind of good stuff. So y'all keep him and his family in prayer. because it's a very, very sad story. And as we all know, we think it could never happen to us, but nowadays we know it can. And we got to save our boys. We got to save everybody, but they are on attack. They're on attack on our Black men. And so let's please, and this was a baby,
right.
A baby. So let's keep him and his family. His name is Ralph, and I'll put it in the chat. RALPHYARL. Keep him and his family covered in prayer.
Wow.
And that's what I got tonight.
Well, and we started, and as you say that, before I end tonight, the one thing I want to do, and we were doing this, and I guess we got off a little bit because we got to doing some other things. I would just like to say a prayer tonight before we bounce up out of this thing. A prayer for just general, for understanding, for courage, for strength, for each and every one of us. Because if I know nothing else, what I know is that we're all going through something. We come here, and if I may, we come here to just offer dialogue. We come here to offer some encouragement. One, to just show that people can have a conversation. Doesn't always mean that me and the little diva gonna agree on everything. But what we can do is have a conversation and open the lines of communication with each other and with the rest of the world. We don't come, and if y'all don't know, we don't come scripted either. We just roll up in this thing. Now, let me correct that. She probably got her book over there.
I do not have anything. But I need it this night so I can let all that
out. but this is I'm grateful for the platform that God has blessed us with, collectively and individually, to be able to share and to be able to just feed into the world, feed into positivity, to touch on some things that most people might want to say, but scared to say. I ain't scared to say nothing because I tell y'all don't like what I'm saying. Y'all got a finger. Keep on scrolling. I don't care. Keep on scrolling because old country boy I'm gonna be right here. But that's what it's about. We, in order for this nation to be healed, understand something. It takes, first of all, we have to admit that we're hurt. Man, ain't that something? We each have to admit that we are hurt and have been hurt, and some of us broken. This old boy right here, I will tell you 100%. I have been broken into pieces. But by God's grace, I ain't as broke as I used to be. I got less broken pieces than I had a year ago. What I know for sure right now for me, and I pray this for the rest of the world and everybody that can hear my voice, is that you get to the point where you're not broke enough to bleed on people that didn't hurt you. So that's something that happens. Sometimes we've been broken. We've been broken. And we start bleeding, and we're bleeding all over people that ain't got no idea.
Absolutely.
That's what the anger, that's what the frustration, that's what all of this stuff is from. It's from the brokenness, those broken pieces. But let me tell you, and I ain't trying to preach to you, but there's a man. All you got to do is allow it. Allow the healing to take place. We keep on talking about we want to see change. Let me tell you, let's be the change we want to see.
Let's be the change.
Let's be the change. So old country boy is gonna just ask if it's all right if we just say a little old prayer before we get up out of this. Lord knows this old boy needs some prayer.
We do. Y'all, please, if y'all don't take anything else from tonight, just know that you have the right to be respected. You have the right to be respected, and you have the right for people to. No one has the right to disrespect you. Let me just say that. Yeah. And it's okay to have a conversation with people that you hang out with to pull them to the side or talk to them the next day and let them know, hey, this is something that we might want to work on. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this little prayer, and then we're gonna shut this thing down.
All
Dear
right.
Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace, God. I am not coming to ask for anything. I'm coming right now just to say thank you. I thank you. I thank you, Father God. Thank you for watching over, for keeping, for protecting each and every one of us. You say, country boy, how you know God protecting us? Because we here. That's how I know. If you can hear my voice, He is protecting you. He is watching over. He is holding you, and He's holding you close. And for that, for each and every one, I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done. Father God, I'm not coming here asking you again. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm just coming to lift you up and lift your name up and say thank you. Thank you for your grace and your mercy, your unmerited grace and mercy that you have given each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. I pray for everyone under the sound of my voice that they can open their hearts and just receive you. Receive your grace. Receive your grace. And I ask these prayers in your son Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Look here. Old country boy, let me put my old hat back on because my head's shining, boy. I done blind about
Well,
5 feet.
you got a nice little old bald head up there.
Look here. Old country boy and the little Diva will say this right here. If God has given you a vision, if He's given it to you, then don't worry about what nobody else says. Don't worry about what people say that you can't do. You just keep on pushing. If God has given it to you, it is your vision. And if nobody tells you that they believe in you, well, look at here. The little Diva and the country boy, we believe in you. And guess what? If ain't nobody told you, if you didn't hear it when you open your eyes up this morning, if you didn't hear it, and if you did not hear it any time around lunchtime or during the daylight time, if you ain't heard it, you finna hear it right now. It's because it's the nighttime hour. And if you ain't heard it, you finna hear it right now. Look here. The old country boy and the little Diva, we love you. And we love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Thank you, Julie, for being so interactive. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Someone else. It was a person I'm missing. Henry Ford. Thank you guys for joining and watching. And I ask you to make sure that you tell a friend, bring a friend, text a friend, tell them that we're on every Monday night at 8 o'clock. All right? We are speaking on it, and we want you to speak on it with us. Whoop, whoop.
And we're going to get up out of here. We gone, y'all. Bye, little Diva. See you next Monday. Let me find the out button. Where the out button? Boom, boom. There you go. There you go. There you go. Hit it, boy.